everyone, I'm Jodi and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. So if you can believe it, today we are talking all about summer trends. Now, if you have watched my channel before, you know that at this stage of life, I will be 52 this month, I'm not trying to look trendy. But after doing a video on how I used to do my makeup in high school, and I'll link that right up here if you have not seen it and you graduated from high school in the late 80s, early 90s, you might find this hilarious as well. But after I did that video, it really got me thinking about, have I evolved my makeup look enough to just look current? So that's what this video is about. It's incorporating the trends of the season and making them maturely modified so that our look is current, but it's still us. I know for me at this stage of life, I have my own style, I think, and I'm not trying to look like I'm on the cover of Teen Magazine. That is for that generation, and they wear it well. Me, pastels, neons, not so much. As we look at the trends, I'm going to show you just some different ways to incorporate them into your overall look. And don't worry, while there's a lot of trends here for summer, you don't have to incorporate all of them in every look. Just do your normal look and then add maybe the new eyebrow trend or the new lipstick trend or the new eyeliner trend into the style and look that is all your own. So with that, if this is something that you're interested in, we are gonna get started and I'm gonna incorporate these looks with you. And then after we get our look together, I'll show you the outfit that I have on today, sort of some fun summer trends in terms of fashion. If you're ready, let's get started. So the first one is all about that continuation from spring with that fun, dewy look to the skin. Now, if you love matte foundation, that is no problem with this trend. A couple options for you to incorporate with your matte foundation is the Halo by Smashbox, which I've talked about before because it's also a primer, which I love about that. You can also use the Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. I've also highlighted lately the Fluid Illuminate by Chanel. All you need to do is take any one of these illuminators and mix them in with your foundation. So just 50-50 of each, mix them, and then put them on. Another alternative is just to add your moisturizer, 2 pumps of your moisturizer, a pump or 2 of your foundation, whatever the formula is, and then a pump or 2 of one of these illuminators. Mix that together and put it on. What that does is it eliminates the layering. So once you add sunscreen and then you add moisturizer and then you add primer and then you add foundation and then you add highlighter, you're already 6 products in, and at our age, that is typically a recipe for disaster. So I like to just mix my moisturizer with the foundation and then just a little bit of these illuminators, and that's what I did today, and it gives you just a nice dewy finish. And to prove the point, I went back to my YSL All Hours B40, mixed it in with a little bit of the Halo and a little bit of my moisturizer from LaRoche Posay, and that is the look that I finished with. So it's just a nice, dewy, healthy glow from within. Now, if you are a tinted moisturizer wearer instead of foundation, a full coverage foundation, same rules can apply. Just take a little bit of that tinted moisturizer, mix a drop or 2 in with one of these illuminators. Really simple, and I think a dewy skin is so flattering on our more mature skin. Now you could stop there and just call it a day and not go into the next trend, which is all about fluffy eyebrows. Fluffy eyebrows for the season is really more about the height of the eyebrow versus the darkness of the eyebrow. So bold eyebrows, not so much. Fluffy eyebrows, yes. So think about it in those terms. In order to help get that look, you'll want to take your normal eyebrow color down a shade, or maybe 2, depending on how dark your eyebrows normally go. Typically, I would like to wear my eyebrows about the same color as my root color, although the root color is changing as of late to, you know, that beautiful gray color that many people wear nice. I'm not ready to embrace it. The eyebrows have not turned gray, however, so I want to go a shade or 2 lighter than my root color for my eyebrows, and then I'll take an eyebrow gel, and you know I love this Benefit one, and just spike them up a little bit to give them more height this way. Now, as we age, doing that can be a little tricky because from one day to the next, one can have grown, you know, 1/2 of an inch. So just be sure that if you go this route with your brows, and it does add a nice I think it adds a nice youthful look to the brows. just make sure that you go through and trim any brows that have, you know, grown a little bit overnight, like that one just did. And then you are good to go. And what I love about these brow gels, Anastasia has one, and they just hold your brow in place all day long. Now, if you don't have a brow gel, no worries. Just add a little bit of hairspray to a fine comb and comb them up into the shape that you want. And I usually back comb them up, and by that I just mean I'm combing them towards the opposite direction as well as up. And your hairspray will work the same. Just be careful not to get too much on it so it doesn't look clumpy or anything as you put it on. And that's a fun way to just embrace this trend with your current eyebrow situation. The key is to not have them look so solid in color and straight, harsh lines. So if you're used to really putting on a nice line with your eyebrows, try to make that a little bit of a softer line, still defined, but a little softer, little lighter color, and then comb them up just slightly, and you are good to go with this new summer trend. Now the next trend is all about that flush color. After you've exercised or done extracurricular activities, it just gives you that nice flush look to your skin. That is a fun trend to embrace. And the easiest way to get that is with your blush, obviously. Now at our stage of life, many of us like our cream blushes. That is the easiest way to get this flush look anyway. And here's a couple quick tips in order to do that. I'm just gonna grab, this is the RMS cream blush. This works with your Clé de Peau cream blush. It'll work with your Kiko Milano cream blush. Any cream blush that you have. You'll just wanna take a damp beauty sponge. These are the Real Technique ones. They're just small, I love them. Get a little bit of it on your sponge, put it on the back of your hand, and then what I like to do is just add a touch of face oil just to thin it out a little bit and give it a little bit, and it's really just one drop. And you'll see that just thins it out just enough to give you more of a opaque color to your skin versus a more solid blushy color. We just really want that sort of transparent blush color. And you can see that just really lightly goes on. And again, we're gonna start with the center of our eye, the high point of our eyebrow, down through that, oops, there it is. Down through the center of our eye, pull it out and up, and just really soft, just like you got done exercising or something. So no real lines. We don't want anything looked purposefully placed. It just gives a nice youthful glow to the skin. Now, just like if you were flushed, you wouldn't just be rosy on the cheeks. You'd be a little bit rosy around the side of your face, up around your forehead a little bit, maybe a little bit around your chin. You just want to warm up the face just enough to give it that flushy, natural look. The other thing that's important with this look is to have more of a warmy tone. Not many of us would have a cool tone flush to the skin. So you want to think more neutrals or warms when you're looking for that blush. Super easy. Now, if you don't have face oil, don't feel like you have to run out and buy some. Just use a little less of your cream blush. You can add a touch of coconut oil, or you can also just use a little dab of your moisturizer to thin it out as well. And then once you've got that where you want it, just use a little bit of setting spray. I prefer this e.l.f. setting spray. As you guys know, it smells like coconut. I love it. And I just put it on just to sort of hold it in place throughout the day. All right, so the next one is all about tight lining. Now, tight lining can be a little dangerous as we age. If you tight line on the inner sides of your lower lashes, it just makes your eyes appear a little smaller. And as we age, things are sagging. I don't need this area to look smaller. I prefer it to look wider. So if you do want to embrace the tight lining, I would recommend that you stick with a lighter color. And by lighter, I mean non-black. And I would also go with a gel liner. Gel liners typically are better at holding that waterproof line and will have less tendency to start to smudge. The other thing with tight lining is, again, with a gel liner, I would tight line on the upper lashes if in fact you really want to embrace this. Now, there are no rules in makeup, which is why I love it, so do whatever you want. I would just recommend that if you want to embrace this tight lining, do it on the upper lashes and do it with maybe a dark brown or a black. If you're really light skinned, very fair skinned, then I'd go with maybe a lighter eyeliner pencil. This one is Penny Lane by Smashbox Always Sharp, and it's just a little bit lighter than what I normally wear, which is the Smashbox Violetta. Or if you've got darker skin, then you could absolutely go with a black. I love the Dior 24-hour Stylo for this. And again, because they stick with waterproof if you're tight lining, and pencils usually don't work as well for tight lining. And then you can just tight line right up underneath that lash. And it does give a nice bold look to your lash. And again, you can always tight line on the bottom for your more mature eyes if that works for you. You could grab a, do I not have it here? You could get a neutral or a cream or beige eyeliner and tight line on the inside of your eye. That does make it appear more bright. Certainly something that you could consider. The next trend is eyeline smudging. Now this is again a slippery slope for those of us that have, you know, lines and wrinkles underneath our eyes. I mean, it seems like our eyeliner just naturally smudges, so we're kind of already on trend. Now as we age, ensuring that this under eye area is hydrated and very moisturized before we apply our makeup, using a gel liner can be a slippery slope because that gel liner will have a tendency to slip a little bit, although it's waterproof, on top of that moisturizer or whatever you've put, serums or whatever, under your eyes. So for this area, I prefer to stick with more of a pencil liner, and then you can still smudge it because it's a pencil that's going on top of that moisturizer, which gives it a little bit of give. Now you can also use a lip pencil for this area, and I sometimes prefer to do that. While they're harder to blend or smudge after they've set, they do smudge easily when there's moisturizer underneath them. I hope that makes sense. So don't be afraid to dig through your lip liners and see what colors you have, and do you want to mix this up a little bit and add more of a rosy color. What I used in this case was a Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude lip liner. I underlined my eyes and I used that as an eyeliner just along my lashes. And I love this color because it's sort of a nice nudie color, but it's not too warm, it's not too cool, but it's almost a brown, so it will show up, but it's not too harsh. And then I just took a smudge brush. This is my smudge eyeliner brush from Bobbi Brown. And I just went and smudged that ever so lightly. And again, I used a pencil versus a gel, and it's actually a lip pencil. And just give it a nice smudge with this brush, or any smudge brush that you have. And when I'm smudging, I try to make sure that I'm using just the tip of my brush versus the side, because smudging, as I said, on our older eyes, if we smudge and start to get into some of those fine lines and wrinkles underneath our eyes, then the smudging has just almost doubled in size. And try to hold that smudge line to not go any farther down your face than where your lashes stop. And then of course we have to pull it out because I think my hand just automatically does that. And there, you've added a nice little smudge. Now, if it's too dark of a color for you and you're like, oh, I don't really think I love that, then just go back into any of your eyeshadow palettes. This is the Blush Crush by Rosé by ColourPop, also is a good one. In this case, I'm gonna go with the one with my smudge brush and just go over it a little bit so it whitewashes it or lightens it up just a little. You can always do that. You don't have to. If you like that smudge look, then go ahead and leave it that way. I think the eyeshadow, I like to do this step because I feel like the eyeshadow just sets it in place and has it last a little bit longer. And this is where you can get really creative with a lot of different colors as well. Now the next trend is all about colored eyeliner. And this is a good time to revisit brands like ColourPop or Morphe or some of your more drugstore brands, because if you're not gonna wear these colors all the time and add it to your collection, you just want a pop of color to get through the summer and sort of embrace this trend or to have a current look, then those brands are perfect for that. They're good quality products, but they're not at a price point that you'll be really upset at yourself when you see it in your drawer a year from now and realize you didn't really use it. I know I've got products like that. So ColourPop has some great little cut crayon sticks, cream eyeshadows, cream eyeliners. This is a really pretty aqua color. So if you want to embrace this trend, you can just easily pop a little bit of color right along your top lashes, real thin, just to give a hint of a color, but not too much. So you can see how just adding that little bit of color adds a fresh look to your makeup. You can go with darker blues, you can go with more oranges, which are really in right now. You can add a little bit of yellow if you want. Again, what I love about makeup is there are no rules. So again, you can choose to do your makeup the way you normally do and maybe just add a little bit of color to the eyes, or a lot if you want. Again, no rules. Or you can do your makeup how you normally want and just do your brows. So have fun incorporating one or two of these into your overall look. And last but not least, a trend for the summer is all about that rosé lip. Now, I was really hoping it would be that nice bright pink frosty look that we saw coming into spring. And there's no reason you can't still do that look if you love it and embraced it in the 90s as I did. But the look really is a glossy lip with more of that deeper rosé color. I found the perfect combination for that, which is again, iconic nude lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, one of the reasons I love Charlotte Tilbury's lip liners is that even though it's a pencil, it wears very much like a gel. It's creamy, it's smooth. It doesn't tug so much on my lips as I'm trying to draw those lines. And then the perfect addition for the rosé look is Nympho by NARS. It's their lip gloss. I love this color and I love it because it's so universal. It could look good on a lot of different skin tones, and that combination is what I have on today. So that is a really nice one, and I think this will look really pretty into fall. Now, if that color is a little too dark for you, you can add a Cream to Nude by MAC on top of it, or you could add the White Russian from Buxom if you wanted. So you could lighten it up and still have that nice gloss that I've got today. There you have it, you guys. Some really fun trends for summer. But again, I'm not trying to be trendy. I'm just trying to take my look and make sure that I stay somewhat current with it. So I hope these are helpful to you. So next, let's take a look at my shirt. This is just a super fun little knit print that is in for summer, which I wasn't sure I was liking when I first saw the knit fabric coming out. I do like it a lot if it's the right style for my more mature look. Because it's got a lot of texture to it and because it's got a lot of colors with it, I just made the jewelry very simple, straight lined earrings, just a simple hoop, and then just a little bit of jewelry to pull in some of the colors. Now the shirt is by a company called Altered State. And what I love about this, and I'll link this down below if you're interested in it, is proceeds from every sale go to help children with food and clothing. So I always feel good about supporting smaller brands that give back to their communities in such a giving way, and have some really cute clothes. Now what I did is I paired this with a high-waisted jeans because it's a little shorter, but I just love this jagged edge area. I think that's really, really cute. It does cover the shoulders, which a lot of people like, and it could go off the shoulder if you wanted to wear it that way for the summer with, you know, a wider choker maybe. And then I just paired it with some high-waisted jeans, which I'm loving that high-waisted jeans are in, with just a simple belt and then just some flip-flops. I hope that was helpful for you and inspires you to go find something fun in your closet and get ready for summer. And I'd love to hear from you which one of these trends you're most excited about incorporating into your look while still being your most uniquely, beautifully you. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.